What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of NBA action here on Thursday, April 3rd. We're going to break down every NBA game tonight and look at the full MLB slate. We're going to look at bets on the side and over-under, and make sure you're checking that pinned comment throughout the day to see if there are any changes as injury news and player availability is confirmed. Yesterday, guys, things went okay. We got off to a very good start early in the day. We had the under in that Texas Rangers Cincinnati Reds game, and that game ended 1-0. So a very easy cash there on the under. We had Cleveland minus 10.5 to start off the NBA slate, and that one went our way as well. Cleveland getting the dominant win there over the Knicks. We had Dallas minus 3.5. That was an annoying one. They kind of collapsed there in the fourth quarter to make that game close. Eventually, Anthony Davis seals the win there for them with a very nice defensive stop and also that floater there in the lane, which kind of a crazy last shot, but hey, the Mavs fans will take it. They've had a hard enough time this year. We're not going to worry about that one too much, but an annoying loss. We did have the Thunder minus 13, or we still have the Thunder minus 13. They're playing pretty well against Detroit right now, but still only in the third quarter, so not counting our chickens before they are hatched. Slam that like button. It's free. It helps me a ton and shows your appreciation for all the free information. Think of it as tipping, but here it's absolutely free. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. That'll keep you from missing our daily videos. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today or any other feedback you have for me, and I will personally respond. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We got the Orlando Magic going on the road to take on the Washington Wizards. The Magic come into this game fresh off of a much-needed win there against the San Antonio Spurs. They haven't exactly been killing it lately, going 2-2 over their last four, and at 37-40 on the year, this is not where the Orlando Magic were hoping to be this season. This was a team that looked like they had what it took to finish top 3 or 4 out there in the East at worst. It turns out when you have no shooting on your roster, things aren't going to go quite that well. They're a full 5 games back of the Milwaukee Bucks, so it seems like the best Orlando can realistically hope for is to hang on to the 7th seed where they are currently at and be in the best position possible there in the play-in tournament out in the East. So we'll see what happens there. Orlando obviously coming off that win, a nice 11-point win there on the road. Nothing wrong with that. We saw KCP continue to be aggressive there offensively. That's something this team has needed really bad all season long. He had probably his best night of the year, I think, putting up 23 points, 7 of 9 from 3, and overall, pretty nice shooting night from the Orlando Magic. They made 18 threes, not something they do on a very regular basis. They had a small edge there on the boards, but really the thing that put them over the top was just their shooting. They shot the ball really well. Banchero and Wagner, neither one of them played great, but they still managed to get the win. Also, they both put up 24 points, so it's not like they didn't do anything positive. Cole Anthony's back. That's a little bit helpful, and just overall, guys, this team seems like they're playing some of their better basketball since, early on when they looked so good. So pretty high on what we're seeing from the Orlando Magic right now. Looking at their injury report, it looks totally fine. They're fully healthy now. A great time of year to pick to get fully healthy. So we'll see what they do here on the road. They're taking on the Washington Wizards, who shockingly enough are fresh off a 116-111 win there against the Sacramento Kings. Really crazy, guys. Obviously not a game that, you would normally see the Wizards winning. A game that you would very much expect, like Sacramento needs these games, and they just couldn't come up with a win against one of the worst teams in the NBA, a tanking team, but the Wizards didn't quite look like they were tanking so much. I mean, Poole put up 23 points, a very solid shooting night from him. In general, guys, all the Wizards starters played pretty well. Washington shot 39.5% from 3, nothing out of the realm of possibility, but, a decent shooting night for sure. They only played Poole 24 minutes. They're not even trying to win, guys. They're not playing their best players the maximum amount, and they're holding guys out of games that are probably healthy, and still, guys, Washington comes away with this win. So pretty bleak stuff there for Sacramento, but Washington will definitely take it despite being out of every race you could possibly imagine coming into this game. It's not a fully updated injury report here, but we do expect guys like Middleton, George, Smart to all likely be sitting this game out, and for Jordan Poole to keep playing abbreviated minutes. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Wizards are getting 13.5 points here, playing on a back-to-back and playing at home. We've got a total of 216.5. Orlando 18-20 against spread on the road, 18-18 against spread after a win. Washington 15-22 against spread at home, 3-10 against the spread playing on no rest. We obviously need to see an updated injury report here, guys, but this feels like a spot we could theoretically be on the Orlando Magic despite this being a massive number. I don't think we'll see Washington play very well in this game. I don't think we'll see maximum effort. I don't think we'll see everybody play. I think we'll see a tired and just not very motivated squad, and all that leads me to think Orlando and their stifling defense could be the answer in this one. Quick reminder, guys, all of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily college basketball, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks, and Major League Baseball, our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row, is off to a fantastic start to the year right out of the gates. At stumpthespread.com, you'll have access to exclusive free picks, free to use bet size calculators, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not always match what you see here in the video. Also, guys, you need to go over there and sign up for our free email newsletter, which will get you free picks straight to your inbox every day and updates on our results. Just make sure to check your spam folder. Next up, guys, we got the Milwaukee Bucks going on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bucks come into this game 41-34 on the year, fresh off a nice 133-123 win there against the Suns. Milwaukee holding on to that 6th seed. They've got a 5-game cushion over Orlando, so they should be okay, but it's looked pretty bleak since that injury to Damian Lillard. So we'll dive into that injury report here in a minute, but that is obviously not ideal. Giannis putting up 37 very efficient points. He went 11 of 12 there from the free throw line. That's pretty dominant stuff for Giannis, a guy that struggled mightily at the line this season, but he's stepping up in a big way here with Damian Lillard out, and kind of everybody in the starting lineup stepped up. Kuzma only 12 points, but he was the lowest scoring starter, guys. 22 from Brook Lopez. Ryan Rollins putting up 23 and was a plus 29. The bench doing fine, honestly, like totally fine. They're only playing 3 guys there off the bench, not asking anyone to do too much out there. And Milwaukee just absolutely shot the lights out in that game, guys. They made 17 of 29 threes. That's nearly 60% from long range. So very good stuff there from the Bucks. Obviously, you would expect them to be in a pretty big, regression spot here in terms of their shooting numbers, but that was elite stuff. Well played there by Milwaukee. Looking at their injury report, it appears that, obviously Giannis we expect to see on there all the time, and AJ Green. Giannis, guys, with his foot issue, he's probable for this game, and AJ Green with his shoulder issue is questionable. They're going on the road here to take on the Philadelphia 76ers, who are successfully tanking things out here at the end of the year. They've lost 9 in a row. They just lost by 13, 14 or something like that at the Knicks. So not a team that's looking to keep things very competitive. Obviously, clearly one of the most disappointing teams of this season. It's been pretty brutal out there for the 76ers in that loss against the Knicks. Not a lot of positives to report. Quentin Grimes continuing to play well, 26 points, 8 of 18 from the field. So not like insane shooting numbers or anything like that. But yeah, the 76ers shot 6 of 31 from 3. That's under 20%. They're not a very good rebounding team necessarily either. They turn the ball over. Just no positives to look at right now for the 76ers, and not a lot of help on the horizon. We don't expect guys like Maxey or Kelly Oubre to be playing anytime soon. Yabu Sele is on the injury report as well, so it's pretty much the not the A squad, not the B squad, more like the C squad running out there on a nightly basis for the 76ers. So we'll see what they can do here. They're getting 11.5 at home. We've got a total of 225.5. Milwaukee 16-19-1 against spread on the road, 20-20-1 against spread after a win. The 76ers 11-25-1 against spread at home, 14-37-1 against spread after a loss. Guys, we're taking the Bucks here, minus double-digit points. Feels a little bit crazy. I know they're in a huge regression spot in terms of their shooting. Their shooting could regress quite a bit. I think they still put up 125 points here against the 76ers, and there's no way the 76ers are going to score anywhere close to that unless the Bucks just completely don't even run back on defense and just let the 76ers score. So go ahead and give me the Bucks in this one. I think it's a very good spot. Shout out to the channel members, guys. If you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, join the ranks of the Stumpers. Sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members get exclusive early access to all of my videos and get their names up on screen in every single video. But more importantly, you'll get access to our monthly members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump The Spread hoodie to one random channel member in early April. And if we can get up to 80 channel members, we'll be doing 2 giveaways in this month. So get down there, hit that join button, and sign up today. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves going on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets. The Timberwolves 44-32 on the season, winners of 4 out of their last 5. The only loss in there was against the Pacers. Not the best showing there from the Timberwolves, but they got that nice, very gutsy, very, very long and drawn out 140-139 win there against the Nuggets. Thanks mostly, maybe not mostly, but thanks in large part to Russell Westbrook. Just some pretty serious miscues there at the end of that game. It was pretty brutal. That's a tough way to lose a double overtime game. Jokic obviously putting up cartoon numbers in that game, but Anthony Edwards putting in 34 points. That's pretty good, and it wasn't the full strength Timberwolves either, as they've got guys being suspended at the moment. We'll see what they can rally up to for this one. A pretty decent night. They had an edge on the boards. They shot almost 40% from 3, so on and so forth. Good games from both Ant and Julius Randle. How often can you expect Julius Randle to have an efficient shooting night? We'll see, guys. I'm not holding my breath for that to continue necessarily. The Timberwolves right now find themselves sitting in the 7th seed out there. They're tied with the Grizzlies now for the 6th seed. The Warriors are a half game up on each of them in the 5 seed now, and only 2 games back of the Denver Nuggets. So we'll see how things go here down the stretch. Would be pretty wild to see the Warriors turn around so aggressively they end up with home court advantage in the first round. That would be pretty bonkers. The Timberwolves come into this game. I would say they're looking relatively healthy. You've got guys like DiVincenzo coming back and Naz Reid coming back from their suspensions, so they'll be well rested and ready to go. Obviously, dudes coming off of a double overtime game can be a little bit rough, but they had a day off in between. I think we'll see them be okay here as they go on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets, who are fresh off of back-to-back wins. They just took down the Mavericks. They took down the Wizards. Now they go back home, though, to face the Timberwolves. The last time they played at home, they got obliterated by the Clippers. So we'll see which version of the Brooklyn Nets we get out there in this one. At Dallas, guys, that 113-109 win for the Nets. Pretty crazy stuff. Not a game you would really expect them to win. Keon Johnson putting up 24 points. A very respectable night. D'Angelo Russell, 18. He was actually trying out there for a change. That was interesting. 11 points off the bench from Tyrese Martin. As a team, they shot almost 40% from three. Pretty good stuff there for the Brooklyn Nets. Not necessarily what we're used to seeing. They also played some decent defense, only giving up 109 points. So can they replicate that? Seems like a bit of a big ask to me. This is a tanking team, and there's plenty of dudes on the injury report right now. We see D'Angelo Russell, Zaire Williams, Cameron Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Day'Ron Sharpe, all on the injury report. And it looks like D'Angelo Russell with his knee issue is going to play. He's probable, so it sounds like he'll be out there. Zaire Williams, though, out for rest. Cameron Johnson with his back issue will not play. Jalen Wilson, questionable due to right ankle soreness. And Day'Ron Sharpe, guys, seems like he's not going to be back here for a bit. Still limited to stationary work. So that's not a great look. The Nets not going to be at full strength. That's part of the reason they're getting 12.5 points here at home. We got a total of 216 out there. The Timberwolves 20-17 against spread on the road, 21-22 against spread after a win. Brooklyn 16-20 against spread at home, 13-11 against the spread after a win. This is a bit of a tough spot, guys. I don't know if I can trust the Timberwolves to get a blowout winning cover here. I am going to be on Minnesota, but only in a small way. I don't really think this is one that I can justify making anywhere near the pinned comment. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies going on the road to take on the Miami Heat. The Grizzlies 44-32 on the season. They've lost their last 4 in a row, and I think it's fair to say at this point this team is in a free fall. This has gotten really bleak. Firing your head coach, turns out, does not solve everything. They're 2-8 over their last 10. They've lost their last 4 in a row, like I was just saying, and it's getting bad, guys. They are currently tied with the Timberwolves. They've got a very legitimate shot to end up as low as the 8 seed out there in the West. Not what you would have thought for this, team that was looking very, very likely to finish in the 2 seed. So something's got to change. Something's got to turn around. I'm not sure what it's going to be. We saw the Grizzlies play, very, very aggressively, very high energy, very high effort. Morant, a great game, 36 points, 14 of 22 out there, but no match for Steph, who put up 52 points in that Warriors win. Other than Ja Morant, guys, Jaren Jackson Jr. typically getting in foul trouble, eventually fouling out. He did score 22 points, so not a terrible night, but you got to be out there in crunch time, guy. Desmond Bane, a bad shooting night, 6 of 15 from the field for 19 points. The bench looked okay. Santi Aldama shot the ball really well. Scottie Pippen Jr. giving them some nice minutes. They shot 40% from 3. We saw Ja himself actually do okay shooting the ball from deep. Actually excellent, 5 of 8 from 3, but you can't count on that on a nightly basis. And yeah, just not enough there in the end. They did not have an answer for Steph. So that's a problem for this Grizzlies team, and they've got to figure things out here. They've got to figure things out pretty freaking quick, or things are going to continue to get worse and worse. Looking at their injury report, they're fully healthy coming into this game. They really have no reasonable excuses here as they go on the road to take on the Miami Heat, who are going to be playing on back-to-back nights, but probably feeling pretty freaking good coming off of that 124-103 win there at the Boston Celtics. The Heat looking like a completely different team themselves right now. They are definitely going to be in the play-in out there in the East, but not looking like a team that's going to be any fun to face for the Hawks, the Magic, or the Chicago Bulls. Because, it's not looking great because the Heat are playing really well. They've won 6 in a row. A huge turnaround for this team. That 124-103 win there over the Celtics was great stuff. Tyler Hero, a nice night, 25 points there. 9 of those points did come from the free throw line, but Bam putting up 21, 16 there from Larson. Good stuff from Haywood Highsmith. Kyle Anderson having 19 points off the bench. Davion Mitchell putting up 13 off the bench. And we saw the Heat shoot 46, almost 47% from 3 in the game. So excellent stuff there. Boston, a bad shooting night. And when they have bad shooting nights, they're going to lose. That's just the way they've set the team up. So we'll see how things go down the stretch for the Heat. But right now, it's been looking pretty good. They come into this game. We expected the same, people to be available as have been available usually. Duncan Robinson, Andrew Wiggins, probably still going to be out for this game, but it's not a fully updated injury report, so stay tuned for that. Be checking that pinned comment throughout the day. The Heat are getting 4.5 points is all here at home. We've got a total of 227.5. Memphis 19-17-1 against spread on the road, 17-14 against spread after a win. The The Miami Heat 20-17 against spread at home, 6-8 against spread on no rest. This just isn't enough points for me to take the Heat, if I'm being honest, guys. I know they've been playing a lot better. The Grizzlies' slide has to stop at some point, and I think here against the Heat could be that point. I think they're going to be pretty pissed off. I think Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. and even Desmond Bane a little bit are by far probably 3 of the 4, maybe 5 most talented guys that are going to be on the court in this game, and that's going to make things pretty rough for the Heat. Give me Memphis here to win by at least 5, but not enough faith in this to put it in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, guys, we've got 2 tanking opponents. We've got the Portland Trailblazers going on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors. The Trailblazers, fresh off a crazy 127-113 win there at Atlanta. Very good stuff there for Portland. Obviously a team that's out of the mix, but they've done some good stuff this season. They've taken some steps forward, and to be honest, I think they'll be a team that's a little bit scary to face next season. We'll see how that all goes, but yeah, Denny Adjevell looking like a monster at different points this year. He's fresh off a 32-point performance. Sharp putting up 33 points. He played very well. It was a plus 23. The bench did very little to nothing, but they didn't need it, guys. They dominated out there. Despite shooting only 32% from 3, they had a nice edge there on the boards and just looked like the better team, which is pretty nuts considering the Hawks are going to be playing the playoffs and the Toronto Raptors will not. So we'll see, and the Portland Trailblazers will not. Neither will the Toronto Raptors, though, just for the record. The Blazers come into this game, guys, looking, I would say, relatively healthy given what's been going on. We expect Scoot Henderson and Jeremy Grant to both still be out. Anthony Simons seems like he probably will play again this year, but he's questionable for this game with that forearm issue. And as this team tries to lose games, they're probably not going to be wanting to run him out there. So we'll see who they actually play here against the Raptors, who are fresh off a 137-118 loss there against the Bulls. They had won 4 in a row going into that game. They were resting guys, as you would expect, and yeah, didn't play a lot of defense there against the Chicago Bulls team that's playing really, really well. Concerns have to abound here in the offseason for Toronto. This has not been a good Scotty Barnes year. He's supposed to be the dude they're building this team around, and yeah, it's starting to look a little bit sketch, guys. It's not looking that great. So we'll see what happens. It was a good game there from Quickly. They'll definitely take that, but overall, not the best performance there from Toronto. They come into this game, I would say, looking not healthy at all. We see Quickly, Grady Dick, Jakob Poeltl all listed as out. Scotty Barnes is on the injury report as well. He's listed as questionable with that finger joint contusion, and maybe they just want to give the dude a day off because he's been playing so bad. Looking at the numbers, the Raptors are getting 3 points here at home. We've got a total of 225.5. Portland 20-17-1 against spread on the road, 21-10-1 against spread after a win. Toronto 23-14-1 against spread at home, 28-18-1 against spread after a loss. Both teams putting up great numbers in this situation, guys, over the course of the season, but that's mostly because they've been huge underdogs in general. So this is a tough spot against these 2 tanking teams. You just got to figure out who's going to tank the least or who's going to tank the most. And in this situation, it seems like Toronto pretty determined to be the team that tanks the most. So give me the Portland Trailblazers here at -3, but can I put this in the pinned comment? I would say, unfortunately for us at this point in the year, it actually has a chance. Next up, guys, and by far the biggest game on the entire NBA slate, we've got the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. The Warriors have been playing great. Winners of 3 in a row. They've currently moved all the way up into, what is it now? Yeah, the 5 seed. They're only 2 games back of both the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets in that race for the 3 and 4 seed. So there's a very real possibility that the Warriors could end up all the way in the 3 seed, which would be quite the accomplishment after the struggles they've gone through this season. Steph obviously coming off of one of the biggest performances of his entire season, or maybe the biggest performance of his entire season. He made 3 12-pointers en route to putting up 52 points there against the Grizzlies. Things always get a little chippy when you've got the Warriors taking on the Grizzlies, and Golden State did not mess around, guys. They did get in a little bit of trouble there in the 3rd quarter, but dominated in the 4th quarter. A huge game, obviously, from Steph. Jimmy Butler putting up 27 points. Very, very solid game by him, obviously. Quentin Post, 9 important points off the bench. Buddy Hield, not his best game off the pine, but the Warriors did shoot 40% from 3, mostly powered by Steph, obviously. He made 12 out of their 22 threes. They did a good job there on the boards, having a nice rebounding edge, and just in general, played some of their better basketball of the year. So we'll see if they can keep that rolling going into this game. Obviously a very important one. They're fully healthy. We don't know if Jonathan Kuminga is going to play in this game or not. To me, it's not a huge deal if he doesn't. I would almost borderline prefer that he didn't. It's kind of turned into a weird situation there with Kuminga, but we'll see what the Warriors do with him going up against the Lakers here, who come into this game winners of 3 out of their last 4, including a win over the Grizzlies. They took down the Rockets in a very close game their last time out. that was the tired Rockets, so the Rockets were playing on back-to-back nights. The Lakers 46-29, looking to hold on to that 3 seed out there. That would be a pretty nice accomplishment for them. Luka putting up 20 points there in that win against the Rockets. Not the most efficient points, but he did manage to make it to 20. LeBron 16 points, a +9. Not his most banner day either. Austin Reeves, an unfortunate shooting night. The Lakers really needed Gabe Vincent, of all people, to go nuts. He was coming off the bench. He put up 20 points, making 6 out of 13 from deep. Dorian Finney-Smith also put up 20 points. He was a +16 and made 6 of 11 from 3. Now, can you count on those dudes to knock down threes at that clip? Well, with how open their looks are, you would think you could count on it a lot more than you actually end up getting it. But we'll see what goes on in this one for the Lakers. They come into this game looking, I would say, relatively healthy. I mean, LeBron, the only guy on the injury report, and we do fully expect him to play. We do notice that, Rui Hachimura not looking amazing coming off an injury, and the big glaring problem always for the Lakers is their lack of a center now, but I don't think that's the biggest problem going up against the Golden State Warriors, although that does really enable them to play their small ball lineup with, Draymond Green playing at the 5. So we'll see what happens here, guys. The Lakers only 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 229.5. The Warriors 20, 16, and 2 against spread on the road, 18, 24, and 1 against spread after a win. The Lakers, 25 and 13 against spread at home, a very good team at home against the spread. They're also a very good against spread team after a win, 26, 18, and 1 coming off of a win. So this is a tough one, guys, but I think the Lakers are in trouble. I think we're going to take the Warriors here, getting 1.5 points. I don't expect this veteran Warriors team to be too scared going into the Lakers. Jimmy Butler can do some stuff with LeBron. I think the Warriors have a few interesting defenders they can run at Luka, or they could just put Jimmy Butler on Luka and make LeBron try and score 40. Is that going to be part of LeBron's journey at this point in his career? Seems unlikely. Also seems very unlikely that guys like Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith are going to knock down a combined 12 threes in this game. Go ahead and give me the Warriors in this one. Definitely a game that could end up in the pinned comment. Now, guys, hopping over to our MLB slate. And first up, we've got the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Red Sox took the 3-0 win in game 2 there at Baltimore. They lost game 1, 8-5. Not as much offense going on in game 2, but Boston having a great day out there in the mound. Crochet coming up big. That signing looking like a great deal there for the Boston Red Sox. They've got to be thrilled. They, put up 10 hits, 0 errors, 3 runs. That'll work. Obviously, you hope to score more runs when you put up that many hits, but they will certainly take it. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Tanner Houck, who didn't get off to the best start to his season, guys. He went up against the Rangers there in Texas, and it was a little bit brutal. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, gave up 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, walked 3, and struck out 2. It appears his control probably not super online here in the very, very early goings. He's going to have to figure that out a little bit, and this is not a great team to be trying to figure something out against. Baltimore, they are one of the most scary offensive teams in the entire MLB, and I know what the Yankees have been doing, but still, this Orioles team is a pretty scary one. So we'll see what goes on. Obviously, not a ton of teams having a great time in terms of their bullpen. The Red Sox offense, I'm not going to say they're off to a great start. They're off to a pretty mediocre start, but it's super early, guys. We will see how things progress here down the stretch for this offense. They're going to need to score some runs here, going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles, who are 3-3 on the season, fresh off that 3-0 loss. Pretty tough, guys, to see them, let a starting pitcher be in there for 8 innings. They let Crochet mow him down for 8 innings, and yeah, not ideal there for Baltimore. They're 3-3 on the season. This is a team that really wants to be hitting the ball hard. That's kind of their route to success, and we'll see if that works out for him here. They're hitting the ball to Uncle Charlie again, who did not have a good first outing, guys. He had a rough time there at Toronto. Only made it 3 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs. He walked 1 and struck out 3. And that was against the Toronto Blue Jays, guys. Not a team as good as the Boston Red Sox, I don't think. At least it's early in the season, so I guess theoretically we could be wrong, but I don't really feel like it. Baltimore has been a pretty good offensive team here in the early goings. They're the top batting average team in the MLB here early on. They're top 5 in all the major hitting categories. Tyler O'Neill off to a hot start, as kind of he usually is. So we'll see if they can keep things going here. Going up against Tanner Houck, we've got a matchup of 2 pitchers that did not get off to a good start to their season. The Red Sox are -112. The Orioles are -106. We have a total out there of 9. Boston 1-0 on the road, 5-1 to the under. Baltimore 1-1 at home, 4-2 to the over. This is a rough spot, guys. I'm going to be honest. I think we will see plenty of offense in this game. Will we see enough to get over 9? Doesn't seem crazy to me. I think over 9 certainly in play in this game, although we are in the early goings, guys, so you don't really want to be betting a ton of overs usually. I also think there's some reason to take Baltimore just because they're at home and in a huge bounce back spot offensively after getting shut out yesterday. So give me the Orioles at -106, but I'm not putting this one in the pinned comment. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Rockies coming to this game not having a great time. Right off the bat here, looking like another long season out there in Colorado. Yeah, they had a rough time there, guys. Zach Wheeler really dominant in that game against them last time out, and then that 5-1 loss, and it's just been brutal. They don't have a lot of positive things going for them. They don't come into the season with a lot of promise, and yeah, so far it's looking like not coming into the season with a lot of promise, kind of the right way to go. It's been bleak. They're handing the ball in this one to Antonio Senzatella, who's going to be making his second start of the season. His first one, pretty interesting stuff, guys. He ends up, being on the right side of a 2-1 game. He didn't get the win there. He only went 4 1/3 innings. Bro gave up 9 hits and walked 2, but managed to not give up a single run despite striking out 0. So not the best outing. We'll see what this 30-year-old veteran can do out there in his second outing of the season, but he's going up against a pretty tough Phillies lineup, so that could be a little bit rough out there. The Rockies offense looking pretty bleak, guys. You're probably not supposed to be tied for 28th in the majors when you've played, they haven't played any home games yet, so I guess I can't give them too much trouble. They haven't played a single game at Coors Field yet, so we'll see how that goes once they get to play at home, but it's not looking great, guys. They're going up against the Phillies, who are 4-1, off to a very nice start. They've given up a grand total of 2 runs so far in this series, and they're looking to keep that rolling, guys. Zach Wheeler fresh off of a great start. The offense is motoring right along, looking good out of the gates. They're hitting the ball in this one to Taijuan Walker, who comes into this game. He's making his first start of the season, so we'll see what we get out of him. Last year obviously was not his best season as a starter, so we'll see what goes on. This 32-year-old veteran, we'll see. It's a little bit up in the air, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little bit concerned, but not overly concerned. Bro gets to ease his way in here going up against Colorado Rockies. So we'll see how he looks, see how this Phillies bullpen continues to develop. Not looking horrible necessarily, and the offense cruising right along, easily top 10 in all the major hitting categories. We're not shocked to see the Phillies as big favorites there, minus 210. The Rockies are plus 180. We've got a total of 9.5. Colorado 1-4 on the road, 4-1 to the under. The Phillies 2-0 at home, 3-2 to the under themselves. I can't justify taking under in this game, not with these two, not with the Phillies offense and not with who's on the mound out there. I guess give me the Phillies at minus 210. You could even, squeeze them in there minus 1.5 if you were really feeling good about the possibility of Taijuan Walker having a good first start, but it seems too sketchy to me, guys. This one is mostly a stay away spot here. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Houston Astros. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Astros having another bad start to their season. They won their first series 2-1 against the Mets, but now have dropped 3 in a row against the Giants. Now they've got to take on the Twins. Been a little bit brutal for Houston, not gonna lie. They didn't have a good time there against the Giants, and now they just have to take on the Twins. So we'll see if they can get back on track. They're handing the ball to young Hunter Brown. He's making his second start of the season. He's already 0-1. He didn't have a disaster start against the Mets, I guess, but it also wasn't great. 6 innings, so that looks good, but 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them are earned. He gave up a home run. He walked 3. He also struck out 7. So I'm not ready to bail on the young guy yet. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to figure things out, but yeah, maybe not a dominant first start. He gets a chance to go out there against the Twins. Maybe not the scariest team at the moment. They did just beat Chicago, the White Sox, 6-1. So we'll see what happens there. The Astros bullpen, kind of everyone's bullpen, a work in progress so far. The offense in general, not off to a good start. Not a good start at all. They're one of the worst 2 or 3 offenses in the major leagues here in the early goings. Clearly, I expect them to turn that around, but it is not happening quite yet. Jose Altuve off to a good start, though. So positive things if you look at just his numbers as they go on the road to take on these Minnesota Twins, who just won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. You're supposed to win all 3 against the White Sox. That's how playing the White Sox works. But yeah, Minnesota only 2-4 on the season. They got swept by the Cardinals in their first series, and it's not looking great. They're handing the ball here to Joe Ryan, hoping he can get them back on track. He had a very good first start of his season. He did give up 5 hits in 5 innings, but only gave up a single earned run and struck out 5 while walking 0 against the Cardinals. Unfortunately for him, the Twins end up losing that game, guys, 5-1. So not a great look there, but loving what we're seeing from Joe Ryan, at least in the early goings. The Twins' offense, on the other hand, has been very much a work in progress. They're one of the worst 3 or 4 offensive teams in the MLB here in the early goings. Now, that's not going to continue, obviously. Harrison Bader off to a good start with 3 home runs, but right now, they're not swinging the hottest bats. And still, though, the Twins are minus 120 here thanks to Joe Ryan being on the mound. The Astros are plus 105. We've got a total of 7. Houston is their first road game. They're 4-2 to the under. Minnesota is their first home game. They are 4-1-1 to the over. This is a tough spot. There's a part of me that kind of likes the over here, to be honest, but I think we want to be more on the Twins at minus 120. I trust Joe Ryan a lot more than I trust Hunter Brown, and with both offenses sputtering out of the gate, I would say this is a better spot to be on the Twins, especially playing here at home. And they're going to be in, it's not the nicest weather up north. Maybe that has some effect. So go ahead and give me Minnesota at -120. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we are looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Diamondbacks fresh off a 4-3 win. Zach Gallen, a monster game out there, a career-high 13 strikeouts. He bounced back in a huge way after a terrible first start to the season. So bro dominates the Yankees. That's actually a great call there from Guy Boston Sports. I saw his video actually on his little snippet on Twitter. He actually nailed this one. So well played there. Zach Gallen, a monster outing. Still, though, barely a win there for the Diamondbacks. They'll definitely take it. 4-2 on the season, a great start. They're hoping Merrill Kelly can back up a very good first start from him. He went 1-0, a 1.69 ERA, thanks to his very good 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run there against the Chicago Cubs. Now, he did walk 4 and only strike out 1, so maybe not a fantastic outing, but you're a 36-year-old pitcher running out there to start a game. That's the kind of numbers you put up, I think you'll definitely take it. So liking what we saw there from Kelly in his first start. Now he's had to go against the Yankees. A little bit different than going against the Cubs. A little bit different. The Diamondbacks bats, though, should be right there to back him up. They've been excellent here in the early goings. Easily top 4 in the MLB. We see guys like Eugenio Suarez off to a good start. Perdomo's off to a good start. This is going to be an insane offensive team once again this season. They might need it here against the Yankees, although things are getting a little bit weird. They've lost 2 in a row now after sweeping the Brewers, so we'll see if they can get back on track here. They're hitting the ball to Carlos Carrasco. A 38-year-old starting pitcher is not what you want to be doing. Obviously, the Yankees, they've had their injury problems and stuff like that, so I'm sure this isn't what their ideal would be. Bro got hammered by the Milwaukee Brewers. He didn't take the loss thanks to the Yankees putting up 20 points. That was that crazy home run game that they had, but he didn't look good. He gave up 3 earned runs in 2 innings on 5 hits. He struck out 2, walked 0. I'm worried about him, guys. I'm pretty worried about him here, especially going up against a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's a pretty big yikes for me. The Yankees bullpen, obviously, everybody's bullpen's been a little all over the place. Their offensive numbers are looking excellent. We'll see if they look excellent in this one. A lot of that has to do with, them putting up, 32 runs over a 2-game stretch against the Brewers. So we'll see what happens here. This is listed as a coin flip by the books, guys. Both teams are at -110. We've got a total of 9.5. Arizona's 2-0 on the road. The Yankees 3-2 at home. Both teams showing the slightest of slight trends towards the over. I'm not taking an over 9.5 here in the first couple weeks of the season. That's just not something I'm going to do. But I will take the Arizona Diamondbacks at -110. Seems like a very reasonable spot to me. I don't trust Carlos Carrasco at all. I trust Merrill Kelly way more. Maybe not a crazy amount, though. His one, good start this season obviously was against the Cubs. So let's not freak out. But I think he's in a much better starting situation than we see out of the Yankees. So give me the Diamondbacks at -110 in this one as a significant lean. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Reds come into this game 2-4 on the season. Losers of 2 out of 3 there against the Rangers. They put up 14 runs in game 1 and then put up 0 runs over their last 2 games. Immediately, this Reds offense completely imploding. We saw Elly De La Cruz get off to a hot start in his first couple games. Cute, bro. That is not going to work if you cannot keep it going at least a little bit here. Pretty embarrassing stuff for Cincinnati. Looks like that offense is going to suck once again. Nick Lodolo going to have a good start if he wants to get another win, guys. He's off to a 1-0 start thanks to that good start against the Giants. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 5 hits. He did give up a home run, only struck out 1, but walked 0. So not a lot of problem with that. But now you got to take on the Brewers. I would say that's a semi-comparable team to the Giants. We'll see what Lodolo can get done. We'll see what this this very solid Reds bullpen can continue to do. That's been nice, but the offense just nose diving, guys. It's real bad. It's not good. It's been really rough. The last couple games, obviously brutal. So we'll see what they can do against the Brewers. They come into this game not up to the best start. They're 2-4 in the season, but we saw Terang bunt drive in the winning run in the 11th inning for the Brewers to beat the Royals 3-2 in their last game. Yeah, winning 2 in a row after losing 4 straight, much needed. Now they get to face an NL Central opponent. Maybe that'll get them pointed in the right direction. They're giving the ball to Nestor Cortez, who got absolutely slammed in his first start of the year, guys. 2 innings, 6 hits, 8 runs, 5 home runs. He was the dude getting slaughtered there by the Yankees. So, bro, can only get better. It can only get better from here. I doubt that you give up 5 home runs in this outing. I doubt it. Maybe not. I doubt it, though. So we'll see what Cortez can do in his bounce back. We'll see if this Brewers bullpen can get things figured out. We'll see if the offense can get straightened out. It's been in the bottom half at least, if not worse, of the majors so far this season. So they have work to do here. The odds makers, they like Milwaukee at least a little bit. They're -115. The Reds are -105. Cincinnati, this is their first road game. Both teams are 500 to the over-under. Milwaukee 2-1 at home. The total of 7 in this game, I don't know. Not super appealing to me either. I'm going to be leaning just a little bit towards the Cincinnati Reds here on the road. Those bats have to awaken at some point. Obviously, Cortez is going to have a better outing than his last one, but how good will it be? Give me the Cincinnati Reds, but this is not going in the pinned comment. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. Click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.